Get ready for breaking news. Brazil has officially opened an investigation into Google's generative AI and its use of journalistic content. The Administrative Council for Economic Defense, CADE, has launched a major administrative process to look into how Google's AI overviews are impacting the traffic and monetization of news platforms. This deep dive will uncover exactly what Google is doing and the massive economic implications for the journalism industry.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the cybersecurity landscape as Google disrupts hackers using AI to exploit unknown digital weaknesses. Chief Analyst John Hultquist reveals that the era of AI-driven vulnerability exploitation is here, showing how criminal groups are using large language models to find zero-day exploits, putting global cybersecurity under intense pressure. We dive deeper into the technical side, with the Google Threat Intelligence Group revealing evidence of weaponized zero-day exploits created with AI. Researchers found that AI models are capable of discovering high-level logic flaws, including bypassing two-factor authentication, and even tracking sophisticated cyber espionage groups like UNC 2814. And finally, a massive security warning for everyone using Google services. A new report reveals an architectural flaw between Gmail and Google Drive is allowing attackers to deliver malicious attachments disguised with a scanned by Gmail seal of approval. Don't miss this critical update. Stay tuned for the full story. Brazil has launched an administrative investigation into Google's generative artificial intelligence and its use of journalistic content to create automated summaries, known as AI overviews. The Administrative Council for Economic Defense, CADE, linked to the Ministry of Justice, approved the process, aiming to assess the potential impact on the organic traffic, monetization, and engagement of journalistic platforms. This action is part of a broader inquiry that began in 2019 concerning the alleged unlawful use of third-party news content on Google Search and Google News platforms. Prior to this, the Council invited civil society actors, including unions, associations, and NGOs, to submit technical and factual analyses. Acting President and Commissioner Diogo Thompson supported the investigation, noting that the integration of generative AI has significantly altered the dynamics of access, visibility, and monetization for journalistic content. Thompson raised concerns that the relationship between Google and publishers could develop into a structural dependence, questioning whether this conduct constitutes an exploitative abuse of dominance involving the extraction of economic value from third-party content without proportional compensation. Commissioner Camila Cabral-Pires, ALVS, emphasized that Google utilizes journalistic material without prior authorization from content producers. The investigation is expected to focus on several key areas, including distinguishing between traditional search snippets and AI overview summaries, examining the zero-click issue, where users consume summaries without clicking through to news sites, and crucially, estimating the value Google retains from digital advertising compared to the editorial costs borne by news outlets, a metric the company has not previously disclosed. CADE will also require Google to disclose all its tests. Journalism organizations have strongly supported the move. The Digital Journalism Association, AJAR, called it a necessary step to investigate AI's impact, stressing the need for a fair competitive environment and remuneration models that recognize journalism's role in combating disinformation. Marcelo Rech, president of the National Newspapers Association ANJ, described the decision as a historical moment, asserting that it addresses the sustainability of quality information and journalism that serves local communities, which is fundamental to democratic societies. In response, Google stated that the AI overviews were designed to offer a wide variety of results, and that the company remains committed to the open web, continuing to send billions of clicks daily. They indicated they would engage with CADE to clarify product specifics. However, Commissioner Gustavo Augusto Freitas de Lima, the case's rapporteur, initially recommended archiving the investigation, citing concerns that search could act as free advertising and questioning CADE's authority over remuneration. Lima later shifted his position to align with Thompson's view. G1 reports that the process will investigate Google's conduct and its effects on the industry, with the potential for administrative sanctions for economic infringement. CADE has not yet set a deadline for the investigation. Google has successfully disrupted a criminal group's attempt to leverage artificial intelligence to exploit a previously unknown digital vulnerability in another company's defenses, highlighting escalating cybersecurity risks posed by AI. The incident underscores a growing concern across government and private sectors regarding the weaponization of AI in cyberattacks. John Hultquist, chief analyst at Google's threat intelligence arm, stated that this event confirms a long-standing warning. The era of AI-driven vulnerability and exploitation is already here. The attackers were reportedly using an AI large language model to discover a zero-day exploit, a previously unknown security flaw that allowed them to bypass two-factor authentication to access a popular system administration tool. Google managed to intervene, notifying the affected company and law enforcement before any damage occurred. While Google did not name the specific AI model used, analysts suspect it was not Google's Gemini or Anthropic's Claude Mythos. The company noted that while state-sponsored actors typically operate slowly, criminal hackers benefit immensely from AI's speed in discovering and weaponizing security bugs, creating a dangerous race for time. The event occurs amid rapid advancements in AI vulnerability discovery, including the recent release of Anthropic's Mythos model. This technological acceleration is intersecting with complex geopolitical and regulatory debates concerning AI oversight. The Trump administration has signaled a shift in vetting powerful AI models, following announcements by the Commerce Department regarding evaluations with Google, Microsoft, and xAI. This follows mixed signals regarding government regulation, with some policymakers, like Dean Ball of the Foundation for American Innovation, expressing reservations about regulation while acknowledging the necessity of oversight in this context. In response to the potential fallout from advanced models, Anthropic launched Project Glasswing, an initiative uniting major tech firms to secure critical software. Meanwhile, OpenAI has introduced a specialized cybersecurity version of ChatGPT for critical infrastructure defenders. Despite optimism that future AI coding tools could improve security against routine attacks, experts warn that the sheer volume of existing software code remains highly vulnerable if AI tools are unleashed to exploit every bug. Dean Ball predicts a transitional period where cybersecurity risks will significantly rise, potentially making the world more dangerous until comprehensive, coordinated global efforts can harden the underlying software systems. The Google Threat Intelligence Group, GTIG, has released evidence indicating the discovery of a zero-day exploit created with the assistance of artificial intelligence, marking a significant development in cyber threat intelligence. The report details an exploit identified in the wild that was allegedly developed by a cybercriminal group utilizing AI tools. GTIG researchers analyzed exploits associated with a mass vulnerability exploitation campaign and found a zero-day vulnerability implemented in a Python script. This vulnerability allowed users to bypass two-factor authentication, flaw, on a popular open-source, web-based system administration tool. Although the specific tool was not named, the GTIG disclosed the vulnerability to the vendor, potentially mitigating widespread exploitation. This incident highlights a growing trend where AI models are moving beyond identifying basic bugs to discovering complex, high-level logic flaws. Researchers noted that frontier large language models, LLMs, are increasingly capable of contextual reasoning, allowing them to correlate enforcement logic with hard-coded exceptions to surface security flaws that traditional scanners often miss. The evidence suggests an AI model was used both to discover the vulnerability and to write the exploit. The Python script contained characteristics consistent with LLM training data, such as educational strings and a hallucinated CVSS score, alongside programming elements that a human developer would not typically include in an exploit. While the specific flaw exploit did not utilize Google's Gemini models, GTIG has documented other instances where threat actors have attempted to leverage Gemini for exploit discovery. These observations align with activities reported by other frontier AI labs, including Anthropic and OpenAI. Furthermore, the report details the use of AI across the entire cyberattack lifecycle. Examples include a Chinese cyberespionage group, UNC 2814, attempting to bypass Gemini guardrails by using persona-driven prompts to instruct the model to act as an embedded device security expert to analyze firmware vulnerabilities in devices like TP-Link products, targeting protocols such as the Odette File Transfer Protocol, OFTP. Another case involved a North Korean state-linked threat group, APT45, sending thousands of prompts to Gemini to analyze known flaws and validate proof-of-concept exploits for end-day vulnerabilities. Attackers were also observed priming AI models with vast amounts of known vulnerability data to enhance code analysis accuracy. To refine these AI-generated payloads, actors are experimenting with agentic tools like OpenClaw and OneClaw in controlled environments. The GTIG report encompasses a broader scope of AI abuse, including the development of malware, obfuscation techniques, autonomous attack orchestration, infrastructure deployment, and the use of agentic workflows for generating deepfake content in information campaigns. A significant security vulnerability has been uncovered in the integration between Gmail and Google Drive, placing billions of users at risk of sophisticated malware delivery. A new report, based on research by security researcher Ben Ilkashi at Pentera Labs, reveals an architectural flaw that allows attackers to leverage the trusted ecosystem of Google services to bypass security measures. The vulnerability centers on a misalignment within Google's unified security framework. Attackers can exploit this flaw to deliver malicious attachments that receive a misleading and dangerous, scanned by Gmail, seal of approval, effectively achieving the holy grail of phishing by leveraging unquestioned credibility. Ilkashi's research demonstrated that even when Gmail's attachment scanner flags a file as a virus and blocks it from being sent, the file can still be hosted on Google Drive. Crucially, Google Drive failed to classify this file as malicious, allowing it to be shared via a link. When this file is then included in an email composed through Gmail, the system bypasses subsequent scanning, presenting the malicious payload with a false sense of security and the legitimate, scanned by Gmail label. This occurs because Gmail grants implicit trust to files originating from Google Drive, assuming pre-vetting within the ecosystem, which subsequently allows the malicious payload to inherit the safe status of its storage container. This represents a reproducible architectural gap, not an isolated incident. Google has responded by stating that Gmail and Google Drive automatically block the vast majority of malicious files. They have also announced updates to the user interface to clarify security checks when files are shared via Drive links, and reaffirmed that Gmail's fundamental security boundary against dangerous executable attachments remains operational. Despite these assurances, the proof of concept remains valid. Researchers have demonstrated the exploit using a crafted ransomware executable that utilizes XOR-based encryption. Until Google fully addresses this architectural flaw, security experts advise all Gmail users to treat emails containing Google Drive links or attachments with extreme caution, regardless of any displayed security labels.